Greetings, people.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. It's Epic Love Video with Lorena Manzanita and
Tobin Giblin. Coming back live at you with Epic Love. I'm kind of bathing in it today, so felt like a good time to share a video.
And today we want to explore transforming relationship frustrations with the practice of sourcing from within.
Yeah. To us, we were just talking about, like, what's the most important thing? Like, what determines a path that creates more and more beauty, more and more love, more and more intimacy, more and more fulfillment, versus the path that creates more and more frustration and those cycles that people get caught in, either the frustration of not being able to manifest a good relationship or being in a relationship and having those dynamics go over and over, those frustrating, you want to tear
not
your
met
hair out.
or hurt or all sorts of unpleasantness that can happen.
Or just triggered left and right, all of that. Basically every frustration that we could think of that people feel in relationship to relationship. We're talking even single people are frustrated by the fact they can't find a relationship. People in relationship are frustrated by the patterns that keep reoccurring, or this other pattern that happens in relationship to relationship is I fall in love, I have this expanded, amazing, perfect, I think I found my soulmate, and then something really, really challenging. I'm chuckling, and I apologize to anyone who might be in that cycle right now, because I've been there myself and it is not fun. But we want to talk about the antidote to all of that, which is
sourcing from within.
And what does that actually mean? Like, what is the actual realistic, palpable, practicable practice of sourcing from within?
And I just spent the past day or three diving into this topic in my ebook online class, Your Compelling Bubble of Love. And for me, sourcing from within means reaching out to the source of love, which you can call checking out this bright light happening from behind. It's like,
as you were about to say the words. What were you about to say?
God or divine,
Spirit.
or I personally like the phrase the source of love.
Yeah,
because that's really open as to what that could be.
Yeah, and everybody comes at that in a different way, their own unique, heartfelt way. This is really a heartfelt thing, like your connection to the source, to God, to the divine, to spirit, to your true nature, to whatever you want to call it, and that divine spark. But the way we access that, ultimately we feel it everywhere and everything in every moment. That's the portal, but that's where we end up. But the portal is always within, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, to intentionally bring one's attention towards love that's vast and bigger than this tiny little ego self that's engaging in all these fights or frustrations and is trying to get love outside of oneself. The unique, cool thing about Source is that it's available 24/7. It's without and within. And so as we reach to source, it's like we're also reaching deep inside ourselves and getting this more of a deep, intimate connection to the source of love, which can then like fill our cup. Which we can bring into relationship rather than trying to like extract love from somebody else.
Yeah, that right there is the one thing that I got so profoundly from your teachings. I've kind of grokked this in the past, but you pointed out so well, like, what am I grasping for out there? What do I want from out there? What do I want my partner to give to me? What do I want relationship to give to me? What am I on some level like starving for and believe I need the other or the outside to show up? And instead saying, wow, source. I love that word. To me, that's the best word, because source, the source of any of that is in here, in your own being, in your own connection to the divine, which in the simplest terms is you showing up for you being present with you. And that is the in some ways the simplest, but in other ways the most challenging, the most radical act of transformation and alchemy that we can do. in our lives, I think, and with ourselves
Moment
for
to
sure.
moment.
Moment to moment. So let's describe it. Like, what exactly does it mean? You know, you described it yesterday so beautifully about the the felt sense of our own awareness meeting our sensations, meeting what's arising in us in any given moment.
So being open to it, like whatever's happening in here, sensations, emotions, movement patterns, just like really being with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also extending one's awareness to something bigger than. And so it's not like, you know, it's easy to go dive into it and get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to like try and say, I'm not going to feel that freaking thing.
That's
and
what most
like
people are
go
doing most of the time, yeah.
But when I connect to source, it's more of like it expands the space. So I'm both present within, but not lost in.
Yes.
And I'm also have a wider space and connection to something bigger than.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like inviting the connection of something beautiful, magnificent, of spirit.
Yeah, and you can
into
access that
my
in
cellular
any,
being.
and each person might access that a little differently, like saying the word spirit, saying the word source or God, as you feel the direct, felt, oftentimes really raw and really intense and really burning and vulnerable sensations that might go along with these frustrations that you get in touch with through relationship. You know, so I love the way you do it. You're so somatic and embodied and goddess like. Mine is so zen. My training is so like, okay, it's your awareness. Your actual awareness is the infinite. If you really check out your awareness, you go, where does it end? Oh, can't find an end to my awareness if you really check. So that actually is, in some ways, the simplest connection to source is your own direct awareness meeting what you're aware of in your felt sense. So you put awareness with what is here. That is the Zen way of talking about the practice of sourcing from within. I like yours a little better actually, because it always invokes like, oh, nourishing, yummy, something, you know, kind of bigger and more filled with light and filled with that divine, yummy energy that is going to soothe that which is the raw burn from our conditioning, which happens to be the magnet that is creating the frustrating thing that is happening in your relationship. So this is the thing that come in and get subtle and get loving and get really in juicy with that raw stuff. And that's where the alchemy can occur.
Right. So all those things we were seeking outside, it's just like, it's more of like, oh, how can I receive it here, now, in this moment?
Yeah, yeah. And that, you know, the portal to that is through, I mean, one of the analogies in the Bible is the camel going through the eye of the needle. And that would hurt. If you were a camel and you were going through an eye of the needle to find the source, it'd be like getting burned, you know, having your skin ripped off. In some ways, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You're so zen.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. You can't get away from the fact that these patterns in our relationship are painfully frustrating.
And I would say also, it's like the more, if it's really frustrating, the more you can tune into the pleasure, into the goodness, into the space, into the time, into the compassion, into all these good things and the love
have for yourself.
Less intense
Amen. Amen. That's what I'm saying. I love your approach better. But we can't leave out the fact that it is just challenging.
You still need to feel that crap.
It just is challenging. That turnover. I mean, if we go back 5, 10, 20 years, 15 years, and the patterns that we were playing out, I mean, the actual turnover was challenging. I had to be willing to be with challenging stuff. Yeah. It's less and less, knock on wood, thank you, divine God, but it's still, I think the reason things are so epic and so amazing with us is because we're so willing and so devoted to that inner sourcing, to that willingness to be with whatever shows up in us, meet it with awareness, presence, and love here. Without the fixation on the other person being the way we need them to be so I can feel better, or life being the way we think it should be so I can feel better. We are like devoted and like committed deeply to our own source, our own self. And I think that's what makes it as wonderful and as and frequently frustrating as it happens to be these days.
Yeah.
Again, knock on wood.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Exactly. Yay. So on that
Right.
note,
Yes.
we encourage you to find
Source
your
from
way
within.
into the portal of Source within.
Thank you for spending time with us today, and we hope to connect with you at some point in the future. Oh, we're having a class, an Epic Love Evening,
Epic Love Evening.
on December 5th in the Oakland Hills.
If you're interested, check out one of our websites, find our contact information. We'll try to put it here, and then we'll give you all the details. But it's going to be great. We're going
It's
to
gonna be
help
beautiful.
in a realistic, embodied, fun, juicy way, help people find the portal to this other side, this other way of living where love gets to bloom and bloom and bloom from that natural. It's a natural way that love works, I think. We've just been able to kind of been blessed and finessed our way into the natural way that love seems to work and bloom.
So we'd love to share those pearls
And pearls
with you.
So
Sorry.
either way, check us out on our websites, and thank you for watching.
Bye.
Much love.